All right, let's talk about something that I think we can all agree is a little bit terrifying, the math word problem. Today, our mission is to take that big, confusing wall of text and turn it into something simple, something you can actually solve without breaking a sweat. You know that feeling, right? You're looking at a paragraph with names and trains and weird percentages, and your brain just stops. It totally freezes. It happens to the best of us, but I promise you, there is a clear path right through that fog. Because today, I'm going to let you in on a simple but really powerful tool. It's a method, a system, that can take any word problem, I don't care how complicated it looks, and make it totally manageable. I mean, let's be real for a second. The challenge with word problems isn't usually the math itself, right? It's not the multiplication or the division. The really hard part is figuring out what you're supposed to be multiplying in the first place. And that's the whole secret. It's not a math problem, it's a translation problem. We just need a reliable way to turn that story into a clean, simple math equation. And this method we're talking about, it's the key. It's how you crack the code every single time. So, here it is. We're going to use a simple 5-step model that breaks down any problem you'll ever face. Think of it as your new secret weapon for math. The whole point of this model is to bring a little order to the chaos. So instead of one big, scary problem, we're just going to have a few small, easy-to-handle parts. It's all about breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. And here they are, our 5 steps to total clarity. First, you identify what you're given, just the facts. Then you visualize it. Sometimes just drawing a little picture helps a ton. Next, you make a plan. How are we going to attack this? That leads you to find the right formulas. And finally, and this is so important, you check your answer. You ask yourself, does this number even make sense? This is the whole toolkit right here. Okay, talk is cheap, right? Theory is great. But let's see how this model actually works in the real world. Let's put these 5 steps to the test with an actual problem. Okay, here we go. Meet Carl. He's got an hourly wage, he's worked a certain number of hours, and he's got these percentage deductions. The goal is to find his take-home pay. And yeah, looking at it all at once, it feels like a lot to juggle. But watch what happens when we use step 1, identify. We're just going to pull out the raw data. No story, no fluff, just the numbers we need. Pay rate, hours worked, deductions, and our goal. See that? Doesn't that already feel so much clearer? We've tamed the chaos. All right, so for step 2, visualize. You could just picture a paycheck, right? Money coming in, money going out. Simple. For step 3, our plan is pretty straightforward. First, we've got to figure out his total pay before deductions. That's the gross pay. Then we calculate the deductions and subtract them to find the net pay. And that plan leads us right to step 4, finding our formulas. This is our roadmap to the answer. So let's run that first formula. We multiply his hours, $16.75, by his pay rate, $8.25 an hour, and that gives us a gross pay of $138.19. Boom, first part of the puzzle is solved. But wait, we're not done yet. Now we have to figure out those deductions. We'll take that gross pay and calculate 6.25% for Social Security and 1.45% for unemployment. Then we just subtract those amounts from the total. And after we do the math on those deductions and subtract them, we've got our final answer. Carl's net pay, the actual money he gets to take home, is $127.55. See? We just followed the plan and it took us right where we needed to go. But don't forget the last step, the all-important final check. Does this answer make sense? Well, his net pay is about $127 and his gross was about $138. The number went down, which is exactly what should happen after you take out deductions. So yeah, it passes the common sense test. Now that we've seen it in action, let's just quickly look at how versatile this model is. It doesn't matter what the problem is about. Money, shapes, a field trip, the core steps are always the same. Okay, how about a class trip? We do the exact same thing. Identify the key info, 32 students, the ticket price, the food price. Our plan and our formula are simple. Find the cost for one student, then multiply by 32. It is the exact same pattern, just with different numbers. And geometry? Yep, works here too. Perimeter is 36, length is twice the width. We identify the facts and the formulas we need. But look at that phrase, length is twice the width. Our model tells us to translate that directly into math. L equals 2 times W.
The system just works.
So by now, I hope you're starting to see that this is about way more than just passing a math test. What you're really learning here is a skill that you can take anywhere. It's like a problem-solving superpower.
And that's the absolute key takeaway. This kind of structured thinking, identify the facts, make a plan, follow the steps, check your work, you can apply that to almost any challenge you will ever face, inside or outside the classroom.
You now have a framework for turning confusing, overwhelming problems into a clear step-by-step plan. So the real question isn't whether you can solve the next word problem you see, it's what other unsolvable problem in your life are you ready to tackle now?